Sri Gurviyo Namaga. Welcome to online platform children. So, for a long time we are not met. This is an opportunity to meet you all. How you people feeling at home? So, I believe you all learning. So, in straight we are not able to meet, but this is the line which is helping us to meet. Thank you children. We will go for the class. Today we are going to learn Unit 4 poem Ulysses. Who is this Ulysses? He is a king and he was very much interested in travelling than being a king in a kingdom. So, he had his youthfully he travelled all over and he fought as a warrior, and his passion for travelling is very much interested. So, he had not interested in ruling the thing and he was bored in ruling the kingdom. So, he want his son to become a king and he want to make him to rule the thing, and he want to go for a travel, and as he has a passion he want to go and travel all over the world, and he is calling his fellow men to join. Ulysses is a great warrior and adventurer. He is forced to be in Ithaca. Ithaca is his kingdom and he had been forced to stay there and he was not able to stay. He is unhappy to be the king of his kingdom. He has great passion for travel. So, he had a passion for travel and he was very much interested in it. He was very much thirsty, and there is no hunger in traveling all over the world, and he had made his mind for traveling, and that was the only thing he want. Even he was a king, he doesn't like to be idle person in the kingdom. He want to travel all over. The poem Ulysses is a dramatic monologue that contains 70 lines of blank verse. So, the poem has 70 lines of blank verse. Ulysses, the king of Ithaca, gathers his men together to prepare for his journey and exhorts. The king of Ithaca gathers his men together to prepare for the journey and exhort them not to waste their time left on earth. So, he does not want to waste any more time in the earth. Ulysses has grown old, having experienced many adventures at the battle of Troy and in the sea. So, he was a warrior in the Troy. You know that battle of Troy had been taken place for 40 years and he was very much interested in battle, and as a warrior he was fighting and saving his nation. And the second interest for him is traveling. So, sailing in the ship, and that is very adventure, and he experienced a lot going all over the world. He learnt many languages, many culture, custom and other things all over the place. He says that he is not ordinary man, he is an extraordinary and a great personality because he has much experience than the kings who are ruling. He says that by his own words. And this poem had been separated into 3 parts. First part is the thirst for adventure of Ulysses, and he want to over the responsibility to his son, and he is telling that kingdom is living in a kingdom, idle life is boredom, and the travel is his thirst. He was talking in the first part. And second part, he is handovering his kingdom to his son, and third part is he is just calling the clarion call, that is he is calling as he is very much thirst in travelling, and he was calling his fellow men who all interested in sail, and he is giving a call to them, and he is telling that they have to seek and hide, and they have to run, and they have to go and do all the experience in outside as a travel. So, he is calling all the fellow men to join him. So, that was the 3 part, and let us see how it goes. So, Unit 4 English poem part 1 we are going to see today. Ulysses by Alfred Lord Tennyson. You know Alfred Lord Tennyson, he is a poet and he was just been a poet. We will see about him. First we will see the gist of the thing. 3 parts is there, no? The thirst adventure which does not allow Ulysses to remain in his kingdom as a mere ruler. So the first part is we are going to see that the thirst for the adventure which does not allow Ulysses to remain in his kingdom as a mere ruler. So as a mere ruler, he doesn't want to be in this kingdom. He want to serve as go as a sailor, and you want to gather experience, and you want to see and seek new things. We see about Lord Alfred Tennyson. He is a poet, and first Baron Tennyson, he was born on 6th August 1809 and died on 6th October 1892. And he was one of the most popular British poets. He was the poet laureate of Great Britain and Ireland during much of Queen Victoria's reign and remains. Tennyson excelled penning short lyrics such as Break, 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 The Charge of the Light Brigade, Tears, Idle Tears, and Crossing the Bar. He wrote verses on classical mythology such as Ulysses, Idyls of the King and Tithons. So here you know that he was very much interested on traveling, and Ulysses, if you ask, everybody will be saying, those who have learnt literature, they will be saying that he is meant for sailing. Automatically they will be giving a word that he is meant for sailing. Okay, about the poem. So this poem is written in blank verse. What is this blank verse? Blank verse is, it will be having iambic unrhythmic words. So that means it will not have a rhythmic words, as he was, it was a monologue, it was what to say, it is a feeling of a person explained, so that he had not made any alliteration words in that. Mostly poems will be having lot of alliteration, and it will be having rhythmic thing. We will say that yeah, scheming, rhyming scheme. So here it will be having irregular rhyming scheme. So it is called as blank verse. It is iambic, it will be, that is irregular rhyming scheme will be there. And in 1838 this poem had been written and published in 1842. It had been written in 1838 and it published in 1842. A dramatic monologue. So here Ulysses speaks all through the poem, full poem, 70 lines had been spoken by Ulysses itself. He is sharing his feeling, so it is a monologue. Ulysses, king of Ithaca and hero of Trojan War. So the Trojan War lasted for 40 years and he was a hero of that war. Describes his discontentment and restlessness. So he was in the kingdom and he felt restlessness and discontentment. Useless to be with aged wife and rule over a savage race who don't know him. So he is telling that I don't know the people who are there, but I don't want to rule them as they are savage people, and as my wife was aged, I don't want to live a idle life. You know that aged people, what the wife will be doing? She will not allow husband to go and do anything, and she want always to be with them and to be just eating and sleeping and taking rest like that in the aged. So it is a care and love taken care by the wife, but he says that he doesn't want such a life. In a mind he was very young, so he may be a old hero. So mostly this poem content are old hero. So old people will be considered as they have to stay in the corner. But in our poem, the poet tells and gives the heroic thing for an old man, but he was in a body old, in a mind he was younger than his son, and he want to taste all the sailing thing in the sea, and he want to go to other places and want to know new things what all happening all over the world. Okay, we will go for the thing. So he is telling his own word. I cannot rest from travel. I enjoyed and suffered greatly alone with my companions, roamed with hunger heart, participated in Troy, and became part of all this, all experiences and art. Life piled on life will be too little. Life piled on life will be too little. Okay. So, we will go for the first stanza, children. We have 70 lines. I have just separated 3 parts. We will go for first part, second part and third part, and first part we will see what it is. Okay. The first stanza in this 4 lines tells you very clearly, it will profit. What do you mean by profit here? He says that it little profit that an idle king. So, here the profit means a good thing which you are deserving. So, as a king he is receiving or taking or getting a profit very less if he lives as a king in the kingdom. The first line itself tells very clearly how boredom is. It little profit that an idle king by this still earth among these barren cogs, matched with an aged wife, I meet and dole, unequal loss unto the savage rage. So, what he is telling in the 4 lines, it is very clear that he is idle, sitting as a king and eating and sleeping with his old wife he does not like. So, he like only sailing in the sea in his old age and enjoying the life he likes. So, it is very clear, this 4 lines tells very clearly that he is idle in the kingdom and he does not want that to be taken place. Again, he want to go in this old age to a sailing and he want to call other sailors. So, he says it is little profit that an idle king by this still earth among these barren crags, matched with an aged wife, I meet and dole. So, I meet and dole means eat and sleep with the wife. So, I am eating and sleeping in the kingdom and taking rest, and I am just leading a silent life. It is not idle life. I do not like it, he is saying. There is no adventure in that he is feeling. As a warrior, he was very much interested to go for a war, and when there is no war, he does not want a peaceful life in the kingdom. He wants to go for a sail. Unequal laws and a savage rage. So, savage rage means he is talking about the citizen, they are illiterate, they are not knowing that much. So, he is talking like that. So, it is clear, children. We will go for the next stanza. The hard and sleep and feed the hard and sleep and feed and know not me. I cannot rest from travel, I will drink life to lease. What do you mean by life to lease? All times I have enjoyed, greatly I have suffered, greatly both with those. So, what he says, he is going on a sail, he has lot of problem in the sail. No, there will be a sudden storm, there will be suddenly the shipwreck will take place, or ship will be just having some problem. And all the things, trouble is there. Even then he loves the sailing than staying at home. So, he is having a peaceful life at home, but he does not want that. The horrid and sleep, that means he does not want to take rest and sleep in the home, and feed and know not me. So, he is telling that if I travel all over the world only, I will be famous and everybody will be knowing. As a king, if I am staying in my kingdom and eating and sleeping and taking rest, nobody will be knowing me. I will not be familiar, I will not be famous. That was the line saying here. I cannot rest from travel. He says that I cannot rest from travel. Even my death must be in the travel. If I will be ready to die even in the travel itself. That is my last vision, last goal or ambition, he is saying. So, here travel, I will drink. What you will drink? Life to the lees. So, here the drink is not talking about the drink water or something. The thirst he is having for the sail or for the adventure, that he was talking here, and he says that life to the lees means till the last sip of the life he want to drink and save. All times I have enjoyed. So, all the time sailing I have enjoyed. Greatly I have suffered, greatly both with those. So, he is saying that greatly I have suffered greatly. So, he says that I have suffered a lot and greatly in the sea when he was sailing, but even then he feels very, very happy and very, very interested to go on sail. And even if it is the safest life in the home, as a king he had been served and respected by others, he does not want such a life, he is telling. So, it is very clear, children. So, here you can see that me, drink, enjoyed, those. So, there is no rhyming scheme in a regular thing. It is very clearly told. So, this is place where you want to enjoy. You can see how the ship is there and so many sailors are there. So, he loves and he want to be there in this place as a thirsty place, and he want to travel in the sea, and the sea smell, that all he likes. Even there is lot of dangers and there is no safeguard there, even then he enjoys that. Okay. That loved me and alone on shore and where through scudding drifts and rainy heights west the dim sea, I am become a name for always roaming with the hungry heart. So, here he says that west means upset. So, he is saying that west means upset, meaning he was upset. He is saying that loved me and alone on shore and where through scudding drift, that means moving, even it is moving, drift, moving. The ship is moving and drift there will be, so there will be drag and drift and moving will be there, and when that happens also he is very happy to travel. He does not want to have a safe life, even it is dangerous, he enjoys the sailing. So, hydrates means lot of highlands. And here he talks about hydrates, and it is about lot of stars and islands where he can go and stay, see so many new places. I am become a name for always roaming with the hungry heart. So, he says that for always roaming, roaming means sailing, moving with the hungry heart. So, he is not interested in eating and sleeping. His thirst and hungry is only sailing. He is saying very clearly that for always roaming with a hungry heart. So, he will be just, when he started sailing, he will have a hunger, what he can see and what he can learn in the adventure. So, that will be his mindset, and he will be travelling for that reason. He clearly explains that. Much have I seen and known cities of men and manners, climate, councils, governments, myself not least, but honoured of them all, and drunk delight of battle with my peers. So, here what he is telling is, much have I seen, known cities of men. So, I have seen more about men, a lot of men I have seen, and most of them were educated, and they were king, and they were rich, and they were having lot of knowledge, but I can say that I am not like them, I am not least than them. So, I am equal to them and more than only, he is saying. So, and manners and climates, he had seen many places and their manners, the climates, councils, many councils, governments, and myself not least. So, he says I have seen many of the manners. As he travelled each place, he learnt manners, customs and tradition and what all there in that place. So, he says that myself not least than any of them. So, he is saying I am not least because I am travelling, I am not ruling over the kingdom, do not think that I am least, I am superior to everybody, he is saying, but honoured of them all. So, I am honoured of all, so I am best of all, he is telling, and drunk delight of battle with my peers. So, he is telling peers means group, same group people, same group people. So, peers means same group peoples. He says that, and drunk delight of battle with my peers. So, he says that I drank and delighted. So, I drank, I quenched my thirst. At the same time, I am delighted, very happy than others, and with battle, if battle comes means I am not least than any person, I am better than them, I am the best person and I am the great person as a warrior. It tells very clearly my peers, when compared to my peers, he says. Okay. For on the ringing plains of windy Troy, I am a part of all that I have met, Yet all experience in an arch way through gleams that untravelled world whose margin fades. So here in this line it explains, far on the ringing plains of windy Troy. So in the windy Troy, in the ringing plains of the windy Troy, he was a great personality. So he was fighting for the war for 40 years, and that 40 years is not an easy one. You just think over a soldier who is fighting in for a 40 years is not an easy job. So he had done, so he is great warrior, he says. I am a part of all that I have met. So what all he met or what all he went and out saw, he was part of everything he is telling. It all experience is an arch. So it is a great work. He had experienced a lot, and it is an arch. Wherethrough gleams that untravelled world whose margin fades. So here he says that I travel most of the place and I know everybody and everything what is happening, and the place where I are untravelled, that is the margin for me. So I want to get that also. So that was his feeling. Forever and forever when I move, how dull it is to pause to make an end, to rust unburnished should, not to shine in use, as though to breathe where life piled on life. So he says that forever and forever when I move, so when he was moving and moving and moving, how dull it is to pass. So he feels dull to stop it. So he is ready to go on a travel. He doesn't like to give a pass. Pass means stop anywhere. To make an end. So he doesn't want to make an end. To rust unburnished, not to shine in use, as through breath where life piled on life. So he says that he doesn't want to stop anything, and he want to go on travel, and that was only his thirst, and he want to continue it for it. He doesn't want to give an end or a stop for it. Where all too little and of one to me, little remains, but every hour is saved from that eternal silence, something more, a bringer of new things and a veil it wear. So where all too little, so other than travelling is too little for him. He says that all less, little, too little. And of one to me, little remains, but every hour is saved. So when I am travelling, even a single minute, an hour is just considered as a very important thing, and he is very much enjoying that. Even if it is a trouble, he is enjoying it. From that internal silence, so when the sea is moving in the depth and in the middle of the sea, there won't be anything, only silence will be there when it is moving in the center of the sea. So that silence is an internal, and he loves and likes it much. Something more, a bringer of new things and veil it wear. A bringer of new things and a veil it wear. So he feels that it is a bringer who brings of a new things and a veil it wear. So suppose if anything was there and it has not been found by others, and it was veiled till it is veiled. For example, if Columbus is there, Vespucci, so many people went and found so many places, till they have found it. It was covered, it was veiled, it was there, but nobody knows that it was covered with something. The same feeling he is having. You want to go on each and every place, and you want to discover so many things, and with that you want to end, he feels. So he doesn't want to leave any place, he feels. All the veil covered place, he want to remove the veil and show to others. That was his feeling. A bringer of new things and a veil it wear. For some 3 suns to store and hoard myself, and this grey spirit yearning in desire to follow knowledge like a sinking star beyond the utmost bound of a human thought. So here 3 suns, he is talking about 3 years. He is talking about 3 years. It is not sun. He is talking about years. He is talking about 3 years. He is talking about sun's year. It is year. 3 years. to store and hoard myself. 3 years he was just going on a travel, and he stored the experience and hoard the experience what he had got. And this grey spirit yearning and desire to follow knowledge like a sinking star. So he is talking about a sinking star, he is talking about himself. Sinking star means how a star is just falling down like that. When he stops the sailing, he feels how a star just falls down like that, he feels himself. Beyond the utmost bound of a human thought, about a human thought, it is about human thought he is talking about. So that's Ulysses by Alfred Lord. And your drink to life to lees means drink to the very last drop here, live life to the fullest, even the last bit of the life we want to live in sailing. Scudding means moving rapidly because of ides, means a group of stars in the constellation, and here it shows the islands. Past tense vex means upset. Okay, we will go for the figure of speech, children. From that eternal silence, something more to follow knowledge like a sinking star. So he compares himself to a sinking star with the like. When anything is compared with the like and as, then it is called as simile. So it is simile in this line. And yet all experience is an arch way through, as though to breathe where life, life, life piled on life. So he says this, and here without he is comparing life, how sailing is very important, and without as in like he is comparing. So it is called as metaphor. Children, for example, I will tell you, suppose if simile means you will be saying, suppose if any fat fellow is there, or your friend or anybody is there, you will be saying that he is fat like an elephant, you will be saying he is as fat as an elephant. If you say, it is simile. If you are saying a boy who is very fat coming or a girl who is fat coming, see how elephant is coming. If you say, don't tease like this, for to understand clear I am just explaining you. If you without as and like you calling, elephant is coming. So here it is metaphor. The same way here the life of his experience is just compared with any as and like. It was compared to a life piled with life, breathe and all. His experience is compared. So his experience with the life is compared without as and like. So it is called as metaphor. It is clear, children. When you are using as and like and comparing anything, it is called simile, and without as and like, if you are calling or comparing any two things, then it is called as metaphor. Okay. Personification again, through scudding drift to the rainy heights means here it is personification. You know that the movement is just compared to a human. So here the travel or sail or something is compared to a feeling is compared to a human being, or the movement is compared to a human being, or anything is compared to a person, then it is called as personification. So here it is personification, this line is personification. For on ringing plains of a windy Troy. So this is being taken from another poem, and any lines which is taken from other poem or a prose, and then if it is compared in your own poem, then it is called as allusion. So any prose or poem or anything, geography or any subject matter is taken to the poem and it is included and explained with that explanation, then it is called as allusion. So allusion, this line is allusion. For on the ringing plains of a windy Troy. So here Troy is known for his war, battlefield, and 40 years battle had been taken place in that because of the heroine of, even one more poem is there. So that line is taken. So this line is called as allusion. It is very clear, children. Okay. You know alliteration very well. Any line in the given line, if it having a same word, then it is called as alliteration. An and age, then hungry and heart, climate, sea and counsel, drunk and delight, world and whose. So these are alliterations. So thank you, children. So we will end and continue in the second part and third part, children. Until then, goodbye from you.